I'm just going to do another wee video on the landmine press just to go over a few extra pointers just to really iron out your technique on it. Okay, so two main things I want to cover. The first is start and finish position. Okay, what we're really looking for is a really solid chest out, shoulders back and down position. Okay, so we want that position here to be nice and solid. The shoulder blade, the scapula area, that's nice. You want that really steady and smooth and fixed at that finish point and start point. As you move through the press, then yeah, the shoulder blade area is going to move, and that's the idea because we want to run it through a nice smooth range of movement, which is good for it. But what was maybe happening a little bit, and what will happen to anyone that trains in this movement, is that as you tire, it gets harder and harder. Your body, the muscles that hold the scapula nice and stable and the shoulder area nice and stable, they will inevitably start to tire, as will your shoulder itself and your triceps. So as it tires, you'll probably find yourself either consciously or subconsciously sinking. The bar will start to sink down, your shoulder here will start down, and the scapula will start to depress down here, which we want to be aware of to not do. Okay, so really strong, push chest out, really strong through the back, strong through the lats. There's your start position, just a couple inches in front of the shoulder. You're going to push through, and we're going to reach, really lean into it briefly. Okay, I'm stopping for longer just to talk, but so really feel the lat here. Okay, you can put your hand here if you want, and then you're going to be aware of the movement, finishing at the same position you just started here. Chest out, shoulders back. Okay, so drive through, push, lean into it, get a nice stretch through the shoulder area and the lats, and then slowly bring it back to the start. So what we don't want to see is this. Okay, the goal is focused, controlled tempo, not just jerking up and down like so. Okay, so bear that in mind. Equally, as you tire, what will happen is your body will automatically look for compensations. So in the same way as if you put too much weight in the bar when you're deadlifting, you might start to round your back to get the weight up. It's the same idea. This, if you put too much weight in the bar, you'll look for a way of getting the weight up. Okay, and the most common way that people do, or people end up trying to get the weight up, is they end up maybe rotating slightly from either here, which is losing this position here, or the hip area, so they end up trying to create a rotation through the hip to power it up. Okay, so they end up relying on their hips more so than the actual muscle we're trying to target here. Okay, so if you're finding yourself having to almost rotate to drive it up, then it means the weight's getting too heavy or is too heavy. You're better off just stopping the set where it is, even if it only means you'll manage 5 strict reps. That's okay, because 5 reps is still training the strength curve. Remember, okay, the absolute strength is 1 maximum rep. 5 reps is getting close to maximum. So it's still very beneficial to just do 5 reps, and if you have to then rotate to create or to do more reps, you're compromising your form, which is what we don't want. Okay, so try to not get too caught up in rep numbers, try not to get too caught up in the weight. You want to perform as many reps as you can with a particular weight with good form. Okay, so the thing that goes, should always be consistent, is the technique. Okay, so, and that's the one thing that will go when you tire, so just be aware of that. So no rotation. Remember, there's a reason why doing this standing up is easier, and that's because your hips are more involved. So you can sort of push in a little bit more without compromising form. Okay, so the whole idea of doing it kneeling down is that it takes out, or it's supposed to take out, the benefit of the hips and any rotational power that you might be able to generate to push it up. So we want a nice strict controlled hip square, no hip involvement, they're just there to stabilise the movement. And then you drive through, push, lean into it, maybe slightly forward there, and then slowly bring it back to the start position, which should be the same as the finish position. As you tire, this might start to happen, it might drop, and you're going to put your shoulder and your scapula in a sort of unhealthy position like here, so we don't want that. So here, that's your start position, that's your finish position, nice and solid through there as you move. So just bear that in mind, and that's the sort of thing that as a coach, yeah, if a coach is there to see it, you can highlight it, but it's also very important and worthwhile you becoming consciously aware and taking ownership of the movements as well, because at the end of the day it's not personal training. If it was one-to-one, yeah, you could argue you don't need to think about it because the trainer will do it for you, but this isn't one-to-one. And even if it was one-to-one, I think it's important that you learn it anyway, so that the whole point is you can equip yourself with enough knowledge to then train yourself if you have to. But ultimately, you don't want to always rely on someone correcting you. Once you've learned it, you have more freedom, don't you? So anyway, that was all. I'm sure other things will come up. Thanks.